go to ravepubs.com/InfoComm for all your InfoComm news. Hey everyone, Steph Beckett here at InfoComm 2026. It is day 2. We are here at the Daktronics booth. I'm joined by the one and only Jim Vasgaard. How are you?
I am great, Steph. Thanks for coming by.
Of
and yes,
course.
It is day 2. Been a great show,
Yep.
but we'll get through it.
We're getting through it. We're
Yes.
getting through it. So first of all, talk a little bit about who you are and what you do for Daktronics.
I'd be glad to. My name is Jim Vasgaard. I work for Daktronics, and I lead our team that's responsible for building partnerships with the AV integrators. We want to build a network of companies that like working with us, feel good about our products, and then in turn we'll help them resell the product to their customers.
And you guys are a very interesting company in that you guys started your business in huge stadiums doing these giant, beautiful installs. And then you've kind of moved down into corporate, which is a very opposite trajectory of most of the display companies in our industry. They start in the boardroom and expand out. What lessons and things have you guys learned from starting big and then moving into corporate and UC spaces that you think maybe other companies haven't learned yet?
Great question. There's a lot of things that when you start thinking about large outdoor display systems, obviously outdoor you deal with weather and environment, so you have to have a little different level of parts choices, testing, methodology of how you install and operate displays that people just assume you don't have to deal with on the indoor. The benefit that we've learned, though, is we test components to failure as we build them, so we understand how they're going to operate. And the other part, though, is we've learned how not to build a lot of displays because we've been doing this since 1968.
True.
And so that's really helped us look at how do we build a system that installs quickly and easily, doesn't require a lot of return work, a lot of rework, a lot of extra time on site. Because we know the integrators, it's obviously to their benefit to be able to go in, get the job done, get it done right the first time, and then move on to the next project. I would say probably a couple other things that we've learned and understood is you can't just assume because it's indoor, there's no problems, products are all built the same,
Right.
We're all going to operate the same way. Because just like any product out there, some are built different than others, some are built cheaper than others, and how they perform, there's that finding that right mix of product reliability, performance at a competitive price. And so that's one of the things that allows us, because of our experience, how we test components, how we understand how they're going to perform. One of the things that makes us really unique is we bring a 10-year parts guarantee to this industry with our indoor high-res product. And we've been doing that at Daktronics for years. So It's not new for us, but it's new for the business.
It is.
And it's really demonstrated to companies that they can put our display in, they know that they're going to get parts to keep their customer happy for a long time. And that's really the key for having customers for life.
Very cool. You mentioned that indoor displays versus huge outdoor installs, it's very different technology sometimes.
Yep.
But are you noticing that we are putting a lot of those like very high-res things that started outdoor? Are we shrinking those down and more often putting those in the boardrooms, in those hotel lobbies, and other corporate and kind of UC and education spaces?
Absolutely. We're really seeing that the industry as a whole, and it's corporate, we're seeing it in education, higher ed, right? Displays going in student unions or halls of engineering. We're seeing obviously the casinos and a lot of the places that people expect them to go.
Yeah.
But the idea there is you can go into any venue and you can see a projection system in a training room or a boardroom. It works. It provides some results, but it's not dynamic. It doesn't have vivid colors. And we're so used to looking at our phones and our iPads, high-res TVs, we expect a certain level of image quality when we look at a display. We want to be wowed. We don't want to have to squint and look at the screen and try to figure out what's up there. So you're seeing really high technology, high-res technology come into the marketplace. You're seeing it on the screen behind us. It's blank right now.
Oh, there it goes. We got it.
Okay, we're good. But that's an example of what you're seeing go into boardrooms. That's a kit product. Installs quickly. It's just designed to replace a projector. Plug units into it. You get content, spreadsheets, multiple screens, single screens. But that's really gaining a lot of momentum because you can get years and years of life that you don't get out of some of the other technologies.
Absolutely. And you mentioned image quality. And in our industry, we do get hung up on specs. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yes, yes.
But are people looking at more than image quality when it comes to purchasing a display and installing it in different areas these days?
Part of this is an overall education process too. As I mentioned, I think probably one of the assumptions is, well, it's indoor, right? It's going to work. I see these LED light bulbs, right? And they're supposed to run forever and ever and ever. LED light bulbs are different technology than LED display that you're running on a screen.
It's true.
The big thing that we urge people is take a look at the technology, how it's built, understand that there's differences in chip on board and glue on board and surface mount LEDs and what's micro LED. And you really have to ask the questions. Don't assume everything's the same. I think one of the things that we kind of enjoy hearing, but we also get a little frustrated with, is like, well, they're all made in the same place. They're all the same. Well, no, they're not.
Not quite.
No, I mean, you can look at any product, laptop, computers, coffee makers, right? Everything's built different, and you have to look at what's your performance expectations, what's your budget, and what do you want to get out of the display?
Or even how often does it need to be on?
Correct, right, and how often do you want to service it?
Yep.
So the industry is really starting to take a look at all of those things, some because of education, some because of, unfortunately, hard experiences. But we just want to continue to grow this business and make sure that you get the right product for the right application so you get that customer for life.
Absolutely. And kind of in that same vein, what else are you seeing in the market that we maybe can expect to see like a year from now, or something that we're not quite seeing yet that you think maybe next year might get a little bit bigger in terms of trends?
Wow. Great question. I think you're going to see a couple things. I think you're going to continue to see a proliferation of LED screens, but in unique applications. We're starting to see it now where people are trying to do things up a display that goes up a wall and then trends over into a ceiling, right? Or the product off here to your right, this curved or flexible mod, so you could wrap a pole, or you could do something to fit a curve of a boardroom. Or we're seeing in command centers. They want a display that wraps around the viewing desks and the operators, so it makes viewing much easier. I also think you're going to see more movement into, I'm going to call it micro LED technology.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my technology soapbox for a second. Micro LED has a little bit of a misnomer in our industry today. A lot of people talk about micro LED, and what they're talking about is the size of the LED. It's just how tight you can pack them together. One of the things we're bringing and showing here, it's not ready for sale. We got to work through production challenges, but we're actually talking about a micro LED technology. The idea there is, yes, you take that little tiny LED and you can get them as tight as the 0.18 that we have over there. But it's how you load the electronics right on the LED, so you get faster refresh rates, different line scan rates. So you got a product that could go in simulators, that could go in your iPhone.
Yep.
And that, I think, is going to be the next technology. Maybe a year, maybe two.
Yeah.
But that's the one that could really turn this industry around.
How narrow do you think pixel pitches will get before they won't be able to get any narrower?
Well, I mean, I didn't expect to see that 1.8 a year ago when we had, I think we had the 0.3 or 0.4, right? I'm going to say 0.1 maybe, about half of the size of what we've got there.
Which is so crazy because, by the way, when I joined the industry 10 years ago, 0.09 was insane.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this shows you how long I've been around. When I started in the industry way back when, we were selling displays that had 89 millimeter pixel pitch for outdoor marquees, right?
Yeah.
So indoor, a really tight res at that time was a 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
And so, the industry's changed. Tighter resolution. They want to use LED for all kinds of applications. And it's just a question of how hard you push the product.
Yeah. Well, I will look forward to seeing a 0.01 very soon.
We'll see. I'm hoping.
All right, Jim. Well, it's always a pleasure. Where can people find more about Daktronics?
Hey, go to our website, www.daktronics.com. Check us out. Give us a call. We'd love to help you.
Awesome. And don't forget, on our side as well, go to ravepubs.com/InfoComm for all your InfoComm 2026 news. Again, I'm Steph Beckett, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.